It's always nice when you go to your mailbox and you can't get something because it's too big to fit in your mailbox and it's on your front porch instead. We are going to review some stuff.
Thanks, Jack Daniels. She sent us a heavy box with a lot of whiskey. We are grateful.
Always. Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review two of Jack Daniel's newest releases, of the three newest releases.
We are not 3 minutes into this.
Well, that...
And my dogs go. I'm guessing my kids are home now. This is what happens. It's just mass chaos all the time over here at my house.
It's how it goes. So we're going to... Do you want to start completely over?
Oh, no. Let's just keep it going.
Right,
my kids are probably just going to come downstairs and just holler and scream and just be wild. So we'll go as long as we can until we have to cut it.
Oh, I love that. All right, so we are going to review the Jack Daniel's 10-year, the Jack Daniel's 12-year. Their newest release is Batch 3 and Batch 4 of each, respectively. The 10 years, Batch 4, the 12 years, Batch 3. So, yeah. They were kind enough to send it to us for us to sample and kind of hang out with. So we're gonna do just that and gonna review a little bit of it.
Yeah, they were also very kind to send us the full bottle of 14.
To be continued.
Oh, I bet you we dropped this review before this.
That's probably true.
Yeah, so you would have already know our thoughts on it.
You will.
But anyways, before we begin, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notifications button. Appreciate all the love that you all share with us.
Yep.
And please let us know in the comments below if y'all get an opportunity to try this. Or I know some of it's already been released.
Yes.
I know the distillery released. I don't know if anywhere else in the country has or not. But there's a pretty good bottle count on this. So on these, I think
you should be able to.
I would think you would have a good
theory,
shot at it.
you should be able to at least get your hands on one of the three of them. So.
Hopefully, yeah. And then the other thing is just big shout out to Jack Daniels. And like what Dave was saying, this came in a huge box and it's a big heavy heavy wooden box.
There we go.
And we just really appreciate that, you know,
completely.
Especially him packaging is key. So
it really is. Like, your whiskey could be dirt, and if you put in a good package, chances are I'm going to at least like it and try it. So
we're all suckers at the end of the day.
We are.
But no, out of all seriousness, they did a great job. We did a tasting with them and their master distiller. So overall, just really, really happy. All right, and we're back. Sorry, had to go deal with the funness of my kids, my wild and loving, kind.
They are
and loud kids. Perks of a 2 and 4 year old.
Yes.
All right, so where were we at?
We were right at the beginning.
We were talking about, so we thank Jack Daniels. They did great. The good thing about Jack Daniels is, too, by the way, they sent them out to a ton of people. So if you have a favorite whiskey tuber, Instagrammer, somebody in the whiskey industry that you really like and you trust their palate, to give them credit, they send so many samples out to everybody. They do. You should, whoever you like to follow, just because your all's palates agree, you should hopefully be able to get one. Anyways, though, I guess we'll talk about the 10-year really quick. So, like what Dave was saying, this is batch 4. This is 97 proof. The one thing we didn't really ask, we didn't ask how big the batches were for the 10 and 12 year.
I feel like both of these batches have been pretty big.
Yeah, so I will say this. The first year, 10 year was a little hard to find.
Yes, it was.
But ever since then, the 2 and 3, or the second and third batch has been findable.
Yes,
for us. I think.
It has been.
which has been a good
for
thing.
Sure.
I will say just off the bat, the very first batch Jack Daniel's 10 year, I did not love at all.
No,
I really didn't like it. And then I don't really remember batch 2. And I remember last year. I think like last year was like the first time I started liking it.
I haven't loved any of them yet. I mean, as far as just thinking, man, I got to go get this bottle because it's awesome.
That's fair. That's fair. The 12 year, I felt that way about. The 12 year, that first batch of 12 year was awesome.
Yeah, the first 12 year was good. I didn't enjoy last year's second one.
I liked last year's batch. Like, it wasn't bad. I thought the first one was just better. Being honest. Man, that is so night and day different. Oh, by the way, this is 97 proof. All of this is standard Jack Daniel's mash bill, so it's like 80% corn.
Old number 7. Everything starts as old number 7.
Yeah, literally, that was something else that we found out. They just literally start everything out at old number 7, and then they put everything on the top floor. They see if they like it around 8-year mark, and if they like it, they put it on the lower floor, and they just age it out from there.
Yeah.
Man, what is crazy about this nose? Like, this nose is kind of like right up my alley.
Yes.
A ton of oak char. It is dark. It is brown sugar. It is oily. It is just everything you want. And it almost noses higher than its actual proof.
That's what I thought too. When we did the tasting before, that's what I thought. I thought the nose was really, really like, I think what you said, like it just felt great.
Yeah.
Like it felt.
It really, this is by far one of the best noses I've had on a Jack Daniels product. Yeah. And like maybe.
The first time I sniffed it, I thought it smelled dusty. And then.
Yeah, and that's interesting.
And then it kind of went away a little bit after sniffing on it a little bit more.
So I didn't get that note, but then I started thinking to myself, like, I haven't had a ton of dusty Jack Daniels. Which, if you think about it, like, I've been very lucky and fortunate. I've had a lot of dusties in my time. I just haven't had a lot of dusty Jack Daniels. And you would have thought, with them being around for as long as what they have been, there would have been access to some, and I would have tried it.
Our Michigan crew who do like a bottle thing, somebody in that one got like a bunch of dusty Jack Daniels, and they did one of our tastings as a Jack Daniels, like the modern Jack Daniels number 7, and then the old Jack Daniels, and cool. It was really good. I can't remember who that was. One of you Michigan guys, you can refresh my memory on who that was.
There's almost like a little bit of like a burnt like sugar note onto that as well. Like almost like if you went to a fair and they were doing something with sugar. It's not quite cotton candy, but like I don't know what it is. It's almost like a liquid burnt sugar note. Mm-hmm. I just love.
Yeah, it's a good nose.
That nose, man. It's intoxicating.
It's a really good nose. I feel like it's really smooth and easy.
Oh yeah,
that's the one thing about it that I really like. It's smooth. It's sweet on that front end. I feel like there's some good caramel kind of notes in there, and it just tastes good. Like it's really easy sipping.
It's a good and bad thing in the sense of that 97 proof, because I agree with you. Like there is absolutely nothing offensive about it. It's such an easy sipper to drink on, and it's borderline like warm. Like if it's really warm outside, like you can still drink on it. I think some of that finish. What I do like about this is the first go around whenever I had it on the tasting, I thought it was maybe a little bit weak on the finish. And I don't feel like this is as weak on the finish now.
That's what I thought too.
Maybe we had our stuff out in the air for too long, but like I feel like this has just a smidge more finish on it than what it had. And I still think there's a ton of oak influence on there. But some of those like char notes go away. Those get dampered down. It's just like the palate is more of a settled down version of what the nose is.
Yes, I agree with that, but it's pretty balanced from front to back too.
1000%.
Like that's one other thing that I like. It's not an overwhelming finish, but the taste from front to back is pretty consistent all the way through. So it makes, all in all, it's good. But you know, you look at these things, and what did you say? What was the price of this? $79.99, $85.99, something like that.
Let me look at my
I feel like it was like 84.
It was either $79.99 or $89.99, I think, or 84 or something like that. $84.99.
Yeah, $84.99. Like
for 10 years, I mean that's less than $10 a year.
It is.
You can't be upset about that.
Yeah,
I mean I guess you could, but you know, who's gonna listen?
It's an easy drinker. So if you're looking for something that's super smooth, very approachable for, you know, if you're doing a whiskey night with some people, or doing some blind pours that you just want to introduce some people to some stuff, like this would be great to me in the sense of being able to stump somebody, because I don't know that somebody would know that was Jack Daniels.
Well, it also drinks a little bit higher in proof now. Like, honestly, just from when we just had a little bit ago. And I don't know if that was just from our palate being more, antiquated to whiskey.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there's more oomph to that than what there was during the tasting.
It's good.
And it's just more full on the palate. Yeah. It's more detailed on the palate. That oak is there. That brown sugar is there. That caramel is there.
I feel like the oak is really there on that backside, like in a good way. In a good way.
All right. Now to the 12-year.
Now to the 12-year.
The 12-year, as I'm reading this off of my notes right now, this is batch 3. It's at 107 proof, and it is priced at $94.99.
So
again,
whenever I see the 107 proof, I always feel like, well, it looks like we need to add that to our 107 lineup and try to see what wins and what doesn't win.
We really do need to eventually have that kind of battle because there's so many.
Okay, so the smell of the first one has that little bit of candy smell to it. This one, the 12-year, is like candy.
Yeah.
It's just super sweet, almost smells marshmallowy in some ways to it. But then you also get that, which I always have a tendency to get with Jack Daniels when it really smells candied like. It smells kind of like the candy necklaces. You always get that little bit of candy necklace smell to it, which I don't hate. I used to love candy necklaces. Like, I'm sure you could probably still get those now, or after COVID, they might have done away with them.
COVID ruined everything.
Yeah, COVID did ruin everything.
We just got our video demonetized.
Yeah.
So the biggest note to me that pops off on this is a real thick, dark brownie batter that you're just like making right now. Like, it's still in the bowl and you're whipping it up.
I can get that. Like, I can get that, but it's just there's a super sweetness to this.
No, it's definitely. So here's what's crazy. This 10-year has a lot of those char notes. A lot of those oak influences from that. There's even like a little bit of like a smoke kind of note on the back end of that. In this 12-year, it really goes away from that. And I agree with you. It gets really sweet. Like, not overly sweet. And it's not like...
It's not an off-putting sweetness.
No, not at all. And actually, Chris said this during our Zoom meeting with Jack Daniels, that he felt like this is a good balance between batch 1 and batch 2 of the 12-year. And actually, I really agree with that. Like, where there was so much heavy char in that first batch, and then the second batch was a lot more, if I recall, like a lot more sweet whenever I went back to it.
Yeah.
A lot more like milk chocolate. This is a good balance between those two.
Now, see, this one's not, to me, as sweet as the 10-year. It smells sweeter, but it doesn't taste as sweet. It has more of an oak influence on the palate as well. A little more drying on the back end than the 10-year. The finish is not like super long or super anything like that. It's just it's solid. It's just a little less. To me, it's a little less sweet. That's what it feels like.
See, I think in some ways the 12-year is sweeter than
really?
the 10. Yeah, I think it's not like that burnt sugar note isn't there, but you get more chocolate. You get some fruit with that.
You definitely get more chocolate and fruit,
and you get like chocolate dipped apple, chocolate dipped strawberry, orange, something like that. Well, not orange, but like strawberry apple. And then you get more of just like it's desserty, and you get more of like a brownie note. And like a little bit of like ice cream on the side. Like you have like a nice warm brownie, you put a scoop of ice cream, vanilla ice cream on top of that.
Yeah.
Kind of get some of that as well. But I do agree with you. The finish, I don't want to say it falls off because the finish is still there. But the 10-year with less proof has a better finish than that 12-year.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you could just take that 10-year finish and put it on that 12-year, that would be a banger.
Yeah,
that would be a banger, and that would be a lot of people.
I do agree with that.
So, but outside of that, it's still a really good whiskey. I mean, both of them are very solid through and through. Both of them have great notes. They're both really unique. I think that's the best 10-year they've ever done.
I would agree with that.
So
I would definitely agree with that.
I don't know. I think I like the 12-year more, but I might like the 10-year more.
I actually like the 10-year more.
I can tell.
Yeah.
It's close, though.
Because chocolate's not, like the chocolate on bourbons and stuff, that's not my favorite note.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It's just not my favorite note. But I think both are really good, honestly. And if you can find them, you should probably, they'd be a buy for us.
I also like, and yeah, I agree. I think they're both buy. I don't know what these are going to go for in the secondary, but I feel like they're around the Stag Junior mark.
I think you're right.
So, you know.
Now see, that right there just hit a little sweeter.
Yeah, I agree.
That just hit a little sweeter,
Yeah.
taking that last drink. Man, it's just kind of evolving through. I don't know if I still had a remnant of the 10 in there that it affected the taste of it or what, but that last drink I just had was much better than the first 3.
Here's also what I like, and there's 2 different ways you can go in whiskey. You either try to produce the same kind of thing every year.
Yeah.
Or you produce something and you try to be a little different every year.
Yeah.
And Jack Daniel's, like, basically what I took away from our big Zoom call meeting that people were in there, you know, they make all this stuff and they age it a certain way, and then, you know, they bring it down, they let it slow age down the bottom of their house, but, like, they don't aim for a certain profile.
No, and they don't.
When the whiskey's ready, the whiskey's ready.
And they don't do, he literally said, we don't do a lot of tasting of our bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do a lot of thieving and trying to do it. Like, we'll do it every once in a while, but for the most part, it's a surprise in some ways to them what the finished product is once they pull it out. So that I find that very interesting.
I do too.
That they leave it to chance in some ways.
I guess, I don't know.
I mean, I know that
there's a science.
There
to
is
it.
a
We just
science
don't know.
to it, but
especially with the big batches that they blend. Because I mean,
there
ain't no telling how many barrels they're blending at once. Maybe like 100,000 or something wild. I don't know. Anyways, both these are great.
Yeah.
Totally
be worth getting.
Yeah, and again, Jack Daniel's just killing it doing stuff, man.
They really are. So we appreciate it. Till next time.
We'll see you.
We'll see you.